Good evening, friends, and welcome to Funfold Friday. I'm Doreen DeCebus from It Begins with Ink and Paper, and I hope you have had just as beautiful of a day as we've had in southwestern New Hampshire. It was just gorgeous today. It was almost like an Indian summer day. It was so beautiful and warm out and had a nice little breeze. I was glad I got out for a little bit this afternoon. So tonight I am going to share with you a brand new collection that became available on Monday. And it is the the Fitting Florets collection. And this, the bundles will be in the new mini catalog that's going to be coming out in January, and the designer series paper and the embellishment are available only until supplies last. So I wanted to share this with you tonight, and I'm going to use it to make my fun fold. And tonight's fun fold is actually going to be a Fitting Florets designer series paper fun fold. So it's a way you can use your designer series paper to get the most out of it and to be able to enjoy all those beautiful prints. So let's start what you get in the collection. So if you order the collection, the entire collection is $97.50. And if you need help ordering it, just send me a message or a comment in under this video, and I will be happy to help you. But it comes with first the framed florets bundle, which is $54 if you buy it, just as the bundle without everything else. And what you get with this bundle is this beautiful photopolymer stamp set and these dies, and you get these gorgeous frames. So you have 3 different frames, and all these 2 frames will cut out their center part, so you've got some nice ovals to use. We'll be using part of that tonight. So you have these beautiful frames. You also have some dies that are going to cut out the different flowers and leaves in the stamp set. You've got some beautiful sentiments in gorgeous fonts, and the fonts go so nicely together. Wishes for a beautiful birthday. Thank you with all my heart. So lucky to call you friend. For a special person on a special day. Just a little reminder that you are loved, and celebrate. So this is the bundle, and it is 10% off because the stamp set is $23. The dies are $37, but together you can get it for 10% off, and it's only $54. The other stamp set that comes with this collection is a cling stamp set, and it's called Framed and Festive, and it's perfect for the current season we're in. So we have a Merry Christmas, a fa la la, 'tis the season to be jolly, from our home to yours, from all of us, Noel. May this season be filled with peace and joy, and have yourself a merry little Christmas. I won't be using that set today, but I did want to show you what it looked like as well. But I will be using this set and the dies today. The designer series paper, like any of our designer series paper, is just gorgeous. And I'm going to be using these 2 pieces tonight in our card. With this piece, what I'm going to be using in it, I'm going to use the die cut to cut out this and this piece. So we have a die that will fit nicely for that. So as you know, our designer series paper is double-sided. So let me just show you the different, so you have this beautiful balmy blue side on here. The designer series paper has the following colors: the balmy blue, blushing bride, crushed curry, evening evergreen, night of navy, polished pink, and soft succulent. So it's just, full of beautiful colors. And as I said, we're going to be using 2 of the flowers from this, and then this piece of designer series paper. And that's the background for this. My first thought was to use this designer series paper, and I'll actually show you that I had folded everything up, but I changed my mind as I was working on my idea. And then I love this soft succulent background. It's probably my favorite background out of the package. We've got some paper that has remnants of Christmas with that blushing bride on the back. Here we have some polished pink and some Balmy Blue and Night of Navy. And here we have the Night of Navy, the Balmy Blue, the Evening Evergreen, filling up this design. And we have a checkerboard print on the back with the Evening Evergreen and white. And then finally, we have these really cute little gold adhesive back swirls. So you probably, I don't know if you can see this if I get really close to the camera, but there's all these little swirls right on top engraved in the little bit of the gold. So it's pretty neat. But I will tell you that these two items, the paper and the dots here, are only while supplies last. So once they're sold out, they're gone, and they're gone forever. So let me move all of this out of our way so we can get started on tonight's card. So as I said, I started with looking, cutting my piece of designer series paper and scoring it and thinking I was going to use this as my design because I really liked how both sides of the paper worked together. But once I got working on it, I decided, no, I think I'm going to use this piece instead. So here's what you need. I use the dies and I cut out these two flower images from that one designer series paper. We're going to be using both of them in tonight's card. And then out of vellum, I used the die to cut out these two little sets of leaves. So I'm going to put those over there. And when I first started, I was going to use, so I've got all these things I've cut. I was going to use the white from this with using this die in the Evening Evergreen. But when I was looking at my card, I can show you in this one, I just felt it took up too much of the front of the card and was, covering the designer series paper, which I really wanted to include as part of the design. So I changed my mind and I used the inside of this framed piece with the inside of that green piece, the green frame that I showed you earlier. So this layers on nicely. So you're going to need a piece of the Evening Evergreen and some basic white cardstock to cut these two pieces out. And then I have some other pieces of the basic white and the Evening Evergreen. And this is actually the back of my card, this piece of Evening Evergreen. And then I have here the back side of that other piece, and it's I'm going to be using the soft succulent side on this. So this piece here is a 5 1/4 by 12-inch piece of paper. And we have scored it at the 1-inch mark, the 4-inch mark, and the 8-inch mark. So it's 1, 4, and 8 inches. And what you're going to do, we want this piece here to be the inside of our card. So I am going to fold it in valleys and mountains using my bone folder to get a nice crisp fold. And I'm going to fold it this way here. And then I'm going to fold it this way here. Now, as I told you when I was thinking I was going to use this piece for my card, I really liked how the soft succulent worked with the other piece of the other side of the designer series paper. I'm not quite sure I'm crazy about how it works with this piece of paper, but I think the soft succulent works really nice. So I'm going to actually cover this piece with the soft succulent, and I'm going to cover this piece with the soft succulent. So I'm going to get out my stamp and seal and just add some adhesive here. And I'm going to put this right over this 1-inch piece. I want to make sure I'm covering it. So I'm going to just open it this way. It will be a little easier, I think. I want to make sure I'm covering the whole piece. So I don't want to show any of the edges. There we go. So now that's our first look. And I do have a little bit of an edge here. Oh, I have a little bit of an edge here. So I didn't do that great of a job. Let's see if I can get it off without ruining my designer series paper. I tend to put a lot of adhesive down. So let's try this again. If you try to take a piece, even with a lot of adhesive, if you try to take the piece off shortly after you put it down, it is usually, you can get it up without tearing the paper. If you try to get it, you know, later, you are not going to be as successful as I just was. So this time I'm going to make sure I'm coming right over to that edge so that I am not, there we go, but make sure I'm right at the top. That is almost, just want to get this top piece a little bit more on. It's not as easy as it looks, but there we go, that's a little better. And then what I am going to do, so this is going to actually be adhered down, so I'm going to fold that right over, so I have that little look there. And then I don't want this piece to be showing as much. So I'm going to be putting this piece here so that we have that piece showing. And I still have a little bit, just not happy with that. I'm sorry. I am too much of a perfectionist, I guess. I don't want any of that edge showing. How many of you are perfectionists? It's not a good thing when you're a crafter to be a perfectionist. It just causes you to redo things over and over. And I think I finally got it. Perfect. Now it looks great. Okay, so I'm going to be adding this piece to the inside. So I'm just going to add some adhesive to it. And this is going to go right on this side here. I'm going to bring, again, see if I can do it without messing this up too much. So I'm going to bring this right to that edge. I don't want to go over. Oh, it looks pretty good. And now you can see that I have this nice selection of designer series paper, and I think that it just looks a little sweeter with this card. So this is going to open up like this. So the next thing I want to do is put adhesive on this back here so I can attach it to the back of the card. So this is the next step. And I cut this at 5.5 by 4 1/4. So we have room to have a little bit of an edge there. So that looks really nice. So the card's going to open like this, so you get to enjoy all of that designer series paper. And I'm going to take this piece, which is where I'm going to be able to write a message to the recipient of this card. So let me just add this, and it's going to go right here in the center. Now, a card like this, what's really nice is that if you wanted to add more little surprises on these panels, you could. But again, I want the designer series paper to be the star of this card. And I'm going to take this piece here of pink, and I'm going to just add it here to this bottom corner of that. So that it's something you're going to see when you open up the card. And what I like about this, I don't know if you noticed, these same designs are right on the designer series paper. So there's some different ones too, but the ones that I cut out are also part of this designer series paper. So now let's get started on the front of the card. So I am going to, when I put this down, I am going to be adding this to the label or to the front of the card, and I'm going to be adding these as well. So what I want to do is have my stamped image is going to be towards the top. So I'm going to use for a special person on a special day, and I'm going to use the Evening Evergreen ink, and I'm going to stamp this towards the top of the label, or the oval of the circle. So just make sure it's all inked up. So I'm stamping it on the top and more towards the right of the label. So I can put this away. And I can then add this to the front of the green oval. There we go. And then the reason I want to put this, so if I open up the card all the way, I want this to be going this way because this one is coming this way. So I'm kind of having them point towards each other. So I am going to take a little bit of my liquid glue. Oops, that's the one that's not open yet. Let's get the one that's open. And I am just going to put, so that I can attach these, I'm going to have these, and I just want to make sure everything's poked out. Yep, they look it. So I'm going to have these layered coming right up the side, and I don't really want them to cover the greeting. So I'm just going to take a little bit of my liquid glue. I'm not going to put it on the entire area. I'm just going to attach it right here on the bottom. And what I like about the liquid glue is it allows you to have a little bit of give when you are putting something like this on. So I'm going to add a little bit more, not much. And this is going to go right on top of this to just have this nice little layered look. And I kind of set it, you know, apart from each other so they're not in the same area. And adds just a little bit more dimension. And then I'm going to just add some snail on the top of this, and this will go right here over it all. And then I'm going to add some dimensionals. So this, I am going to want to have it centered on the front of the card. So notice, in order to do that, I'm going off of the opening a little bit. So I'm going to add some dimensionals, but I'm going to not add some dimensionals here. So let me get my dimensionals out. I'm going to put them right like this, so that this piece of the front of the card is, I could put it if I wanted it, you know, right over here, but I really want it centered on the card. So I'm going to have it sit off of that edge a little bit. So let me take these off. So again, this uses the new fitting Florets collection that's available now. The paper and the gold dots are available while supplies last. And the bundle, the stamp sets, and the dies are going to be in the mini catalog. Okay, so almost done here. Let's now use those gold swirls. So let me open this up. Sorry, I just noticed my lamp was turned a little bit away. I hope that makes it a little bit brighter. And I'm going to add, so I could add these in a couple places. I could just spread them out and sprinkle them. I could put 3 just coming down along the edge here. I could put them in the center of flowers if I wanted to. I think I'm going to put them right along the edge here. So I'm just going to take 3 of them and have them just ride that little bit of an edge there. And there we have it, a completed card. So if you can see that. So when it opens up, it's going to open up like this. You're going to see all this beautiful designer series paper. You have place to write a message inside. And this is tonight's fun fold. So thank you for joining me. I'll be back next Friday. It will be Veterans Day. And I know lots of people are off, but I'm still going to have my same Fun Friday. I'm going to be here. So you'll see me live again next week. So I hope you have a great week and enjoy this beautiful weekend that we're supposed to have. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.